We're supposed to learn language to communicate. So that is the reason why I don't think I would like to sound like a native speaker if we were learning a new language. When I was a child, I used to see a lot of people trying to learn other languages, and that was so cool. And if there was someone who lived abroad or anything like this, I would think their accent was cute, speaking in my first language. I would think, oh, it must be so cool to learn a language and to get confused with accents, pronunciations, and all the stuff. And I would be in front of the mirror making a lot of different sounds that didn't even make sense, to be honest, because in my mind I was speaking in other languages. I was just doing a normal thing. I was a child. But then I started to learn English and Spanish, and something really great started to happen to me because I was feeling really good until I met a woman from the United States. She was awesome. She was a teacher, but she was all the time correcting me, and I didn't feel that comfortable. And I didn't want to sound like a native speaker, but she started correcting me so much that I started to think that I had to sound like a native speaker to speak in English or Spanish. Although I know she was just trying to help me, I was the one who got it wrong. Then I started to improve in English and in Spanish as well, and a lot of people would think that I was a native speaker, but the thing is that they will always judge you based on their experience. So if I talked to a person from California, they would say something about my English based on their accent. If I talked to somebody from Texas, they would say another thing based on their accents, and I started getting frustrated because of that. Because, for example, I learned from a person from New York, the way to say this word is interesting. And then when I was talking to another person from Texas, they said I was supposed to say interesting. So even though I was trying to make people amazed because of my accent, I would always get corrected. But if there's one thing we're supposed to understand, is that even native speakers don't understand themselves sometimes. They do not know everything. And I also started feeling really proud because I didn't want anyone to correct me. I didn't want anyone to notice my foreign accent. And I would get even angry at people because of this. I started wanting to sound perfect because I thought that native speakers speak perfectly. No, they don't speak perfectly. They have just been speaking this language their whole lives, but it doesn't mean they're speaking this language perfectly. So when I was a child, I just wanted to speak another language. I just wanted to sound really cool and to get confused. And nowadays it happens to me all the time. I'm always getting confused. I sometimes change my accent. Even my accent in my native language changed after I learned other languages. So now I'm basically living a thing that I had always dreamed of. But I was too stuck with this thing about accents, and I couldn't notice that. If you really want to learn Spanish and English with me, follow me.